What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. So today I'm going to do a video showing you what happens when we wrap over PPF. Okay, PPF is paint protection film. This car's had it on it for a long time, and so what I've done is actually trimmed up some of the edges because they're lifting, holding a little bit of dirt. It's not perfect. This is an older car. Okay, this car is probably about 7 or 8 years old. What year is it, Sean? 2010. Pretty close. So 9 years old. The PPF has definitely faded or changed colors. This is not the same color on here as it is the rest of the car, though it does hold quite a bit more gloss than the paint is right now. So there is that added benefit to it. If you were to do the whole car, probably totally worthwhile, but doing it halfway or partial up the hood doesn't really make a lot of sense in my opinion. It's kind of a cheaper way to go about doing things. You might as well just get the whole hood done. This way you don't see the discrepancy in the finish. Now I'm going to run you through this from beginning to end. So I'm going to bring the camera in right now and show you what this looks like from transition of PPF to the paint, and then we're going to see what it looks like when we wrap over top of it. So the main question here is, can you wrap over PPF or paint protection film? Well, yes you can. Do I know what brand of paint protection film is on here? I have no idea. Probably 3M, it's the most widely used, and if it was about 9 years ago, probably the most widely used paint protection film in the industry, one of them at least. The products that I'm using today are going to be listed in the description below. So I'm wrapping this entire vehicle in satin black for Sean. This is Sean's car, and we're going to be doing some decals on the side to make it pretty, because this color is actually pretty boring and plain. So satin black should bring out a really nice sheen and finish to the vehicle. It's going to hide a lot of imperfections as well, because this car is not in the best shape, as you can see. But again, the satin black is going to create one consistent finish over the whole entire vehicle. This maintains, or this means that it hides a lot of stone chips and it hides a lot of imperfections, because we're going from, you know, this double color here to like one solid color, and even over stone chips. When we wrap over top of them, we don't have the white specks anymore. So now we're going to start to see a consistent finish, which is really nice. So let's get to it. I'll show you the hood. All right, so you can see the actual finish between the hood and the PPF. Quite a big difference. The PPF could have yellowed on here. I don't truly know. The paint is definitely faded a bit more, I think, over here. This could have yellowed. We don't really know for sure. There is partial on the fender as well. The downside to doing partial, or like not even going over the edges, you can see it does retain dirt and stuff like that. Now again, is the hood wrap going to be perfect because the PPF is not perfect? No, it's not. We did trim it back the best that I could, but you know, whoever did this didn't even wrap the front edge here, which is kind of silly, because if a stone hits it, it's going to be the hardest impact. Like, as you can see right there, look where this paint protection film was cut. How crazy is that? That is probably one of the most terrible things that you can do when you're doing something like this. And if you're not going to do it, don't do it right. Or sorry, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all, because this is just really bad. And it's funny because a lot of high-end cars, they get paint protection film on them installed like this, and I've seen customers complain, like some of my customers complain about how their paint protection film has been installed. And this is not typical, but it can happen just with like anything else in the industry. People don't do a great job. So the main purpose of this video is to show you what this is going to look like when I'm done wrapping it. I'm wrapping it in Vvivid Satin Black. It's brand new. So I'm going to cut it off from the other side over there, have it hanging on the top roll. You can see it on the wall behind me. And for those of you who have noticed, the floors were epoxied, so they look substantially better. So we're going to measure the hood out. Okay, we got a 68 inches wide. Hopefully not longer than 60. It's definitely not going to be longer than 60, I already know, but we'll check it anyways, because we always double check, triple check our measurements. This way we know. Cool, we're at like 53, 54 end to end. So 60 will be fine. Now I'm just going to hang the tape measure right here for now. I'll cut that off in a second. We'll just get this prepped. I have 70% isopropyl alcohol, not 90. I never use 90 or 99, whatever you want to say. I never use more than that, simply because we don't need something that's that abrasive. You can if you want to, but I find that it's just a bit too abrasive and we don't need it. So when it comes to such a large area, we can spray the ISO on, and not really worry about leaving too much behind because we have a large rag, and we're able to just really go over the surface and make sure that it's super clean and dry. We cannot wrap over top of isopropyl alcohol that is not dried yet. It's got a little bit of rust starting there, which is going to be nice. So what's going to happen when we wrap over it is it's going to actually prevent the film, or prevent the paint from oxidizing. When we cut off oxygen and water, it's going to slow down oxidization. And that was probably just started from a pretty solid stone chip, because they didn't PPF the whole damn hood when they did it. That would be the point of the paint protection film, right? All right, let's get under the rest of it. Whoever did this knowingly that they're not doing a good job. There's no way you would let this go with the edge, especially that front edge there where I showed you where it was cut back so far. There's no way you would think that that was right if this was what you did in your business. I don't even do PPF and I know that's not right. So, but again, it happens. So always make sure wherever you're taking your car to, you get referrals and you trust whoever it is that's doing it. Trust is a very important thing to have where you're going. And some people are smooth talkers, so just keep that in mind as well. All right, so we'll lower the hood back down. It's actually nice to keep the hood propped slightly. So what I will do is I'll put the bottle of isopropyl alcohol underneath it. It's just a soft plastic bottle, it's not going to do any harm. Just put it right about there. And it's just going to sit slightly on it. Let's cut off the satin black that we need, set about 68. So I can just do it like this, it's pretty simple. I can take it here maybe. Don't want to touch the floor. Let's go up a bit. 68. Perfect. And I can just hold this against the one here. That's it. Done. Super slick, super easy. And we're going to drape that guy on there. So this is going to give you a good idea of what Vvivid Satin Black looks like, the new one. This is brand new. No, the Vvivid never had a satin black. And in comparison to 3M and Avery, I think this is actually much richer and nicer looking. It's beautiful. So I'm just going to wipe off a little bit of dust because I don't want to drag that across the film. Cool, we're good there. We've got not too much extra. I'm probably a little bit high on the corners. Let's have a look. No, I'm not. So I'm going to leave it pretty much exactly where it is, and we're going to remove the backing. Release liner. The hood feels a little bit warm. It might be. Not too bad. It doesn't help to have a warm hood because it makes the film a little bit gooey or a little bit sticky sometimes. I'll give you a full-blown comparison of this satin black versus the satin black that 3M has. Pass that off to Sean. Thanks, Sean. Because I actually just wrapped my Jeep in 3M satin black. So I got a new car. I don't know if I told you guys yet. All right, so we'll do a side-by-side comparison of the two. I got the roll for free as a gesture. It was really nice. So I just did my car in satin black for now because I wanted to protect it. It was a roll kicking around. All right, so again, we're just gonna gloss this out a bit. So this apparently has been developed or redeveloped to be a bit more pliable. I'm gonna cut this away from the windshield right here because it is resisting me. That kind of sucks. We can do it on the back side, we can't do it on the front. This film has been redeveloped, and I did do a Charger hood in it not too long ago, and it just feels more pliable. Not sure what it is, but just felt more pliable. It felt really nice. And it's actually, for how warm the hood is, it's not that sticky. So, excellent. You can just kind of glass it out. So you usually want to start with the highest point, which is right about here. And what I'm going to do, and you're going to see a lot of stone chips in this, guys, but again, it's going to look a lot better than the paint. I'm going to grab some Shield Guard. That'll help my squeegee glide a little bit better. So we're always working the air out to an escape, okay? We don't want to be working it to a tight edge, we want to be working away from the tight edge. Tight edge would be like on the top side of the fender here, but I have this nice space in the middle. This is a tough one to reach. All right, this side's been sitting a little bit, so what I'm gonna do is lift the film. Just give it a little flip. I have to lift it anyways because we're wrinkled up. So we'll just do that. There we go. And just, I wanna bridge this gap right through here. And then we wanna tackle anything that's making contact with the paint in the middle here. It's going to be a lot easier for you if you do that as soon as possible. You see that I don't wait very long between when I put the film down and when I actually start squeegeeing. Okay, that's the whole center area done right there. This is a nice hood because it is pretty flat in the front end. It's not even that hard to do. So I'm just going to hold that up. Oh, one little bubble there. When we get bubbles that we can't get out with the squeegee, sometimes we just have to push a little harder. Usually you just use your finger because that allows you to push down a little bit more firm. As you can see, when I lift, I usually pull back like this, and then I pop the film up. This creates control. I've got too much film right here. Get it off. And as soon as I get this really close, I'm going to show you something pretty cool. We're going to pre-shrink it. Get both sides equal. There we go. So as I get near the end, I mean, I don't really have a lot of pre-shrinking to do because I'm already at the end. You can see that I'm not stretching it over the edge, but I will show you what pre-shrinking is. So I'll grab my heat gun and then we'll zoom in slightly. So right over here, I have some wrinkles. All I'm going to do is elevate the film, keep it up, and then heat from my hand beginning in. Now, I'm going to give the film a moment. I'm not going to stretch it. It actually flattened out. So we just want to keep it flat and Then we go over these little guys right there, and we didn't stretch anything at all to the edge. So again, what I'm going to do right here is lay in, actually I'll keep the camera where it is, it's a good spot, is lay into the recess. Right there. Instead of stretching into this recess. We lay into the recess so that we don't create any excess tension. Now, I squeegee very quickly. Keep in mind that I have quite a bit of experience. Don't think that you have to go out there and squeegee like this. You usually want to do longer passes. It's going to help you. Longer and slower passes with good pressure. Again, I'm still laying in. Now, I could have removed the PPF. And some of you already asked that question, why didn't I remove the PPF? Because I purposely, and Sean was okay with it, I purposely wanted to do this video over the PPF for you. And Sean, like I said, Sean was okay with it, so thanks Sean for that one. Took one for the team. Team CK Rats on YouTube. The team is you guys on YouTube, so I took one for the team on that one because I could have removed it and the line would have been gone. He's probably like looking at me like, look, well, I'm gonna have you redo it later anyway. So cool. That's all laid in. Grab a little bit more shield guard for the other side over here. And we'll level that out slightly, not creating too much tension. We're going to cut off our excess film with too much. Always leaving yourself 3 to 4 inches. Basically, the way I see it, the amount of film that I want to leave around the edge is a handful. Let's zoom back out. A handful means, okay, if I grab this, cool, I have a handful. That's about it. That's like 3-4 inches of film. So again, we're going to level it out. We want to have, when we lay in, we want to have a straight line. Even though this is not a straight, perfectly flat panel, we want to have the straightest line possible. It's going to make our life a lot easier. So it's been sitting for a bit. There we go. There we go. I always keep a slight bit of tension on the film, nothing crazy. Sean's looking at me like, no, like there better not be one little mark or dust particle underneath. So all that's happening is it just keeps sticking down to the high point being the top of the hood, kind of where it meets the fender. Because it's making contact right away. From one side to the next, my technique will also slightly vary because obviously where my hand position is and my body position and stuff like that, it does feel a little bit different from one side to the next. I'm sure you can already tell that, the finish is already cleaned up quite a bit. We don't have that, I haven't even gone over the line yet with heat, I have to, but we don't have that discrepancy in color anymore. Just a nice mark in the PPF right there. I mean, I picked up the heat gun, but only once, and that was only to show you the shrinking effect, the pre-shrinking effect that you can have around the edges. Otherwise, I did not use a heat gun at all to wrap this hood. Does that mean that you can't use a heat gun? No, it does not. It means a heat gun is your assistant. When you need it, you use it. When you don't need it, don't use it. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm just going to lift this up, and since I pre-shrunk over there, I'm just going to do the same to here, because I just want it to be sort of in the same line, and you can see it just kind of falls down and around the edge. Awesome. So again, we're pre-shrinking now that we're around the edge. There's that beautiful stone chip, but again, it looks so much better. So I heat and then pass over. I heat and then pass over again. What I'm going to do is work the air channel in between the PPF and the paint itself from one end to the next, just to create the smoothest line possible. Unfortunately, their PPF cut line is it's not very straight either. So whoever did this, maybe they were like brand new and learning. Again, I guess we all started somewhere. My guess is this is probably done at the dealership. There's a nice chunk taken out here because I cut some of the PPF back, because it was totally lifting over the top. Again, it's 9 years old, so again, we'll work the air out, middle out, very important. You got to add a bit of heat for this because you've got to be able to get the vinyl to sit nice and tight to that line. Okay, I'll just finish this off really quick since this is moving pretty fast. Left a little air in the middle there. Got it. Perfect. Beauty. So what I'm going to do is trim off here in the back. This will allow me to open the hood in a moment when I'm ready. I can lift off. This way, when I lift up, I can do the corner. It's usually easier to do the back corners when you lift the hood up. That's not always true, but on a lot of cars it is. So it's always worth a shot. Add a little tension to the film as I cut. Get it out. There we go. Let's just go over the back side with heat right here. I know I didn't do it on the other side yet. I'll do it after. Cool, let's lift the hood up. I've got an appointment in an hour, so I've got to go. It's fine. Let's get this corner done. Amazing. One more pass with the heat gun, and then we'll be ready to cut. Cool, let's give it a cut. Start in a bit from down here. And again, this is not to really show you the corners and how to wrap a hood, guys. I have so many videos on how to wrap a hood. The purpose is to show you what it looks like with the PPF. I mean, you can take any pointers you want right now from me, but this is just how I wrap all the time. Cut is friggin' flawlessly straight. It's because of the way I do it. always looking, right, before I cut. Especially around the corners, making sure that we've got that coverage that we're looking for. You don't want to leave too much film. Leave too much film on your corners, you're gonna have ugly looking corners. No matter what. Okay, we're at last round of heat. And then I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Amazing. That's all done. So you can see, maybe you can see from there, I don't know, it's kind of dark. The underside of the hood is perfectly, absolutely 100% straight and very thin. Let's turn the heat gun off. Give the hood a quick wipe. Now it's going to be a little streaky because Shield Guard is not really meant for satin finishes. I just use it because it glides very well. So we can end up smoothing this out afterwards. Not terrible. It's just going to be a little bit streaky for a little while. After a couple of washes it'll go away too, but I would never give Sean his car looking like this. Sometimes you have to add a little Shield Guard just to get the cloth damp, and that helps get rid of some more of the streaks. All right, cool. So what it's like to wrap over paint protection film, this is what it is. You can see the line, right? And we can see here, the line did not go so straight. They have a kind of a dip there in the middle, but not a big deal. Like I said, I could have removed it. This is a chunk right here that I trimmed out because it was lifting up and over. There's another one here. This is like a burn mark in it from cigarette butt or something like that. Again, here's your stone chip in the front end. You know, it does stick out. Of course it sticks out, but again, it's all one color now, right? So this cleans up the hood so much. So it's like, can you wrap over stone chips and like paint that's not perfect? Sure you can. It's got a really nice sheen to it. All right, guys, and that is the end of it. So that just gives you a good example of what would it look like to wrap over paint protection film. I mean, especially if it's done like this. Again, is it going to be an issue down the road? No, it won't be an issue down the road. There's just a little bit more protection over the paint protection film now. Again, they didn't even wrap around the edges and stuff like that. Again, it still won't be an issue. I wrapped around the edges. We've got even more grab around the bottom side. I hope this video was helpful and informative to you, and if it was, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you want to see some more videos, don't forget that subscribe button. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much. Take care.